Get live scores, news, and personalised notifications for the Premier League and hundreds of other competitions with FOTMob. Follow every match with integrated FPL points and detailed stats. Download it for free. The link is in the description. We've got one more match remaining in Game Week 5, and Andreas Pereira's points are yet to come in. But as it stands, a score of 79 points has seen a rise up to 238k. It was a relatively comfortable night for the Man City double-up in defence. A 6-0 win over Nottingham Forest saw the away side record just a single shot on target. João Cancelo picked out the top corner from the edge of the box to score a stunning goal, and it's taken him just 4 shots to find the net this season. For a while, captaining Mo Salah was looking like a complete disaster, but after setting up Firmino for the first Liverpool goal, the Egyptian found a last-minute assist for Carvalho via his shoulder. Claiming 2 bonus points in the process, he reduced the gap between himself and Haaland down to just 7 points. But very well played to those who took the risk and captained Erling Haaland for his second successive hat-trick. I feared the worst after seeing him named in the starting lineup, and breathed a sigh of relief when he was subbed off in the 69th minute. Man City fashioned 7 big chances against Forest, with 3 of those falling to the Norwegian. So let's take a look at the transfer plans for Saturday's Game Week 6 deadline. Andy Robertson was close to leaving last game week, as you might remember from those proposed transfers in the last video. But it later emerged that Arsenal were set to be without defensive midfielders El Neni and Partey. And Ivan Perisic looked more likely to start after an early sub against West Ham. So that's what caused the rethink. And now, looking ahead, Perisic looks to be a bigger concern than Robertson for me. He completed 90 minutes midweek, and Spurs have got Champions League games coming up as well as Man City in the Premier League, so I'm fully expecting the Croatian to sit out against Fulham this weekend. With that in mind, my plan is to move him on to Kieran Trippier, who I've been very impressed with this season. Newcastle have given both Man City and Liverpool scares in the last 3 matches, with competitive performances. And they've now got a much more favourable run of fixtures, starting with Crystal Palace, West Ham and Bournemouth in the next 3. I plan to give Pedro Neto one last game, reluctantly, which I'm well aware is more than he deserves. But if I sold him this game week, I'd have 5.7 million to spend on a replacement. Whereas next game week, with 2 free transfers, I might look to downgrade Ederson and free up more funds for Neto's replacement. With Rodrigo injured, Pascal Gross is likely to be the player I target there, although I'd be keen to bring in Zaha if I could afford him. So it's just the one move I'm looking to make ahead of Game Week 6, Perisic to Trippier, and here's how the team is set to line up. Ederson faces an Aston Villa side that have mustered up just 4 goals in their opening 5 matches. They rank 3rd worst for expected goals per game, with only Leicester and Bournemouth offering less. Reece James missed out midweek through illness, but a swift return to action is to be expected after he returned to training on Wednesday. No side have scored fewer goals than West Ham this season, with 2, and they rank 5th worst for expected goals per game. Reluctantly, I plan on giving the Liverpool fullbacks the next 2 matches to redeem themselves. Everton have managed just 4 goals so far, with only Forest, West Ham, Bournemouth and Wolves scoring fewer. They averaged just 0.67 goals per game against the top 6 sides last season, and Burnley and Norwich were the only teams to fare worse. With 3 goals and an assist this season, Gabriel Martinelli trails only Salah, Gross and Rodrigo for FPL points amongst midfielders. His tally of 7 shots on target trails only Anthony Gordon, while only Luis Diaz and Salah have taken more touches in the opposition penalty box. It hasn't quite worked out for Pedro Neto, despite some promising underlying numbers. No teammate has taken as many as his 8 shots in open play, or fashioned as many as his 10 attempted assists. He ranks joint 6th amongst all midfielders for touches in the opposition penalty box. Southampton have shipped 9 goals so far, with only Leicester, Forest and Bournemouth conceding more. After finding his 6th goal involvement of the season against Aston Villa, Gabriel Jesus has amassed 30 FPL points in the last 4 game weeks, an average of 7.5 per game. No forward has taken as many as his 17 shots in the box in that time, while only Haaland has recorded a higher expected goals figure. Prior to tonight's match, Man United have conceded 7 goals in their last 4 matches, with only 4 teams allowing more. Once again, there's a huge call to be made on captaincy. Undoubtedly, Erling Haaland is the man in form. He's netted back-to-back hat-tricks, and his total of 13 big chances this season is 5 more than any other player. Salah, meanwhile, has recorded just 4 big chances, and continues to be deployed in a more creative, wide role. But the Egyptian has fashioned a league-high total of 21 attempted assists, and only GW6 can better his 47 touches in the opposition penalty box. For me, once again, it comes down to expected minutes. I was fearful of a rest for Erling Haaland last game week, and I'm now even more fearful of one against Aston Villa. Looking ahead at City's schedule, I'd expect him to start the 3 matches after it in quick succession: Sevilla, Spurs and Dortmund. So now just seems like the logical time for him to sit out. The problem is, if I'm wrong and he does start, it could be yet another brace or hat-trick for the man in form. So it's a tricky call, but as it stands, I'm slightly leaning towards giving Salah the armband one more time.